operator. That means neither supplier nor recipient, both are not going to pay the taxes. In middle, the e-commerce operator is going to pay the taxes. So that is the third part. So like this, we are going to divide this charging section into three categories: general, reverse charge mechanism, electronic commerce operator. So regarding these aspects, now we are going to have a discussion. So first, if you see, so GST is levied on intrastate supply. So we need to learn the definition of intrastate supply and interstate supply. So intrastate supply and interstate supply. So let us have a discussion regarding that aspect. Section 7 of IGST Act has defined interstate supply, and Section 8 of IGST Act has defined intrastate supply. So intrastate supply has been defined in Section 8 and interstate supply has been defined in Section 7. So now first I am beginning with Section 7. So what does Section 7 deal with? Section 7 has defined the term interstate supply. So here it was divided into 5 categories. So 5 points have been specified in the definition of the term interstate supply. That means in all these 5 cases, which GST is to be levied? IGST is to be levied. So what are those instances? Number 1, location of the supplier and place of supply is in 2 different states. The supplier is in one state, whereas place of supply, we should not say that recipient is in another state. What we need to compare here? Place of supply. So place of supply we are going to discuss in next session. Time of supply and place of supply we are going to have a complete discussion in next session. For every activity, for example, goods supply. What is the place of supply in case of a goods transaction? The place where the movement of good terminates. For example, if I am sending the goods from this place, from Vijayawada to Delhi, if I am sending the goods, where the movement of good is terminating, I am sending from Vijayawada to Delhi means in Delhi the movement of good terminates. Here transportation might be arranged either by the seller or buyer, whatever may be. So buyer only might take the goods to Delhi, or seller can transfer the goods to Delhi, whatever may be the case. Where the movement is going to end? Movement end at Delhi. So Delhi will be regarded as the place of supply. Location of the supplier is in Andhra Pradesh, whereas place of supply is in Delhi. So this type of supply will be called as interstate supply. So we need to levy IGST on this transaction. Like that, for every activity, in case of service transactions also, there are a lot of points to be discussed. Place of supply, which we'll discuss later in further sessions. Now I discuss regarding charging section. Now coming to the next thing, goods or services imported into the territory of India. Sir, what has been specified? Imports. So imports will be regarded as interstate supply. On imports, customs duty will be levied. In that customs duty, first basic customs duty will be levied. After adding basic customs duty, on that value, IGST is going to be levied. What will be levied, sir? IGST will be levied. That IGST which we are paying on imports, we can claim it as input tax rate also. First of all, we have to pay IGST to the government. On imports, the importer is required to pay IGST because the person who is in India is going to import the goods. So on imports, we pay IGST because imports were regarded as a interstate supply. As per Section 7 of IGST Act, imports will be regarded as interstate supply. Next, third one, supplier located in India and the place of supply is outside India. Sir, what has been specified? Number 3, the supplier is located in India and place of supply outside India means this is nothing but exports. This is nothing but exports. So exports also will be regarded as interstate supply. I repeat, sir, exports will be regarded as interstate supply. That means on exports also, which GST we need to levy? IGST only. But the thing to be remembered here is, in case of exports, if LUT is submitted, LUT stands for letter of undertaking. If LUT is submitted, GST need not be paid. For LUT, there are some conditions. In case of goods, within 3 months from the date of invoice, we need to export. In case of service, within 1 year, we have to realize the foreign currency into India. Based on that condition, if you give declaration, that is called as LUT. If LUT is submitted online without paying any GST, we can export. Sir, if I didn't submit LUT, what happens, sir? Even though you have not submitted LUT, then you need to pay IGST. Such IGST paid can be claimed as a refund. That's why exports will be regarded as zero rated supply. That means either GST is not required to be paid or the GST paid can be claimed as a refund. That's why this will be called as zero rated supply. Next, coming to the fourth one, supplies to said unit. Sir, said unit, what ultimately they will do? Ultimately, they export the goods and services. That's why, in order to encourage exports, if I make any supply to said unit, this is also regarded as zero rated supply. That means this is indirect form of export. Directly, if I export, zero rated supply. Indirectly, if I sell to said unit, why that said unit got recognition as a special economic zone? Because they ultimately export. To that export undertaking, if I am going to make any supply of goods, that means if I supply goods or services to said unit, in such case, it is also regarded as zero rated supply. That means GST need not be paid. Next, supply of goods to a tourist. Sir, what is the next point that has been specified here? Tourist point has been specified. Sir, what do you mean by the term tourist? For tourist, why IGST is required to be levied? So let me have a discussion regarding that aspect. Sir, next we are going to have IPL season in India. So from March 26th or 27th, I think so. So IPL is going to get conducted in India. So many foreign players are going to come to India. Let me take one of the foreign player, David Warner, as example. Let us assume David Warner is in Hyderabad now. So in Hyderabad, he has went to one showroom and there he has purchased one laptop. Here, this Hyderabad unit, who is nothing but a seller, which GST will he charge? Whether CGST plus SGST will be charged or IGST will be charged? That is the question. So for this, generally, since the goods were sold at the showroom which was located in Hyderabad, so they need to levy CGST plus SGST. But what this Warner will do at the time of going back to Australia, he is going to take this laptop on which he is going to pay export duty. That means nothing but customs duty is required to be paid. Okay. So of course, there might be some small exemptions regarding laptop, but let me take this one as example. So at the time of exporting the goods to Australia, so here what is required to be paid? Again, he is going to pay customs duty. So here in India, he is paying CGST plus SGST. Again, at the time of export, paying customs duty leads to double taxation. That's why what they have specified is whenever you are selling the goods to a tourist, here Warner will be called as a tourist. So whenever you are selling the goods to a tourist, So whenever you are going to sell the goods to a tourist,
Sir, we are getting few issues, sir, with your voice and screen also.
yeah. Now I think it was clear.
Now it's clear, sir.
Yeah. So whenever you are going to sell the goods to the tourist, so in such case, you need to levy IGST. So if you levy IGST on David Warner, this IGST goes to central government. So here, at the time of paying customs duty, this IGST will be refunded to him, and ultimately he is going to pay the export duty. If CGST and SGST is being paid, this SGST goes to Telangana state government. This one, customs department cannot give it as refund. That's why, keeping these points in mind, what they have specified is when you supply the goods to the tourist, whenever you make supply of goods to the tourist, you levy IGST only. So it is the tourist responsibility to specify that he is a tourist. So if he is a tourist, then in such case, if he is a tourist, then in such case, for tourists, which GST will be levied? IGST has to be levied. For tourists, IGST has to be levied because as per section 7 of IGST Act, supply of goods to a tourist, supply of goods to a tourist as per section 15 of IGST Act. So it will be regarded as interstate supply. Why IGST is being levied? Because this will be refunded if customs duty is paid at the time of taking the goods from India to outside India. So that's why for supply of goods to tourists also, IGST is required to be paid. So this is the definition of the term interstate supply. Next, coming to definition of the term intrastate supply. If both supplier and place of supply is in same state, if both supplier and place of supply is in same state, this will be regarded as intrastate supply. So on this intrastate supply, CGST plus SGST is to be levied. So now coming back to the charging section. So CGST and SGST is levied on intrastate supply of goods or services. What has been specified here, sir? Intrastate supply. That means in section 5 of IGST Act, both we are going to learn simultaneously. No? In section 5 of IGST Act, in this place of this place inter has been specified. So CGST and SGST is levied on intrastate supply. IGST will be levied on interstate supply. Coming to the second point, exception. That means in some cases, GST will not be levied at all. What is that one? In case of supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So no GST at all. Still now, the state government has exclusive right to collect taxes. That's why the central government has not got involved in alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Next. Coming to the third part, value. So on which value GST will be levied? Transaction value under section 15. Sir, in section 15, we have two conditions. Condition number 1, buyer and seller must be unrelated. And condition number 2, price must be the sole consideration for sale. In further session, day 3, we are going to have a discussion on valuation. In case of GST, there is a chapter called valuation. So there we will have a complete discussion regarding that. But here, if you see, on transaction value under section 15 of CGST Act. So here, whatever the value of transaction here, that means in invoice, if I write 1 lakh in invoice, on 1 lakh GST will be levied. If I write 2 lakhs in invoice, on 2 lakhs GST will be levied. But there are two conditions. Condition number 1, buyer and seller must be unrelated. Sir, if buyer and seller is related, then what happens, sir? In such case, they write lower values and pay low GST to the government. Their government is going to lose. That's why if buyer and seller is related, what happens? You have to go for valuation rules and decide the value. Open market value we will see. So on the transaction value under section 15 of CGST Act. So here first condition that was here is buyer and seller must be unrelated. Number 2, price must be the sole consideration. Sir, in invoice, if I write 5 lakhs, actually also I have to receive 5 lakhs. In invoice, if I write 6 lakhs, actually also I have to receive only 6 lakhs. So price must be the sole consideration. Whatever you write in invoice, that one only how to receive. When any additional benefit if you receive, then that invoice value does not form part. Then again you have to go to valuation rules and decide the value of the goods. So third part, is it clear? So value on transaction value. Regarding valuation in a detailed manner, we will discuss in day 3. Next, rate of tax. Sir, HSN. In case of goods, we will see HSN to decide the rate. And in case of services, we see SCSC to decide the rate. What is the maximum rate you have listened till now? Basic rate. Basic rate maximum CGST 14%, SGST 14%. That's it. Maximum rate, that one only. Compensation says it's a separate thing. It's a separate act. But here, maximum CGST practically 14%, 14%. That means maximum IGST 28%. Because the charging section has specified that CGST cannot exceed 20%. Practically maximum how much is being levied? Practically 14% CGST is being levied. Okay. So now coming to the next thing. Paid by the taxable person. Generally, who is the taxable person? Seller. Seller is going to collect the taxes from the buyer and pay to the government of India. So paid by the taxable person. Next, till now on petrol, crude, petroleum crude, diesel, petrol, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, which will be used in flights. On these items, excise duty is being levied till now. Here, GST does not have any role till it was decided by the council. Till the GST council decides. So what will be levied on these items? Only excise duty, and in some cases state VAT. That's it. So GST does not have any role on petroleum products till the GST council decides such matter. So first part of charging section got completed. So now we are going to enter into the second part. So what has been specified in second part? Reverse charge. So reverse charge, now we are going to have a discussion. Sir, reverse charge is of two kinds. Reverse charge is of two kinds. So if you see, I have given here clearly, there are two types of reverse charge. So first type of reverse charge is section 9.3 and second type of reverse charge is section 9.4. First type of reverse charge is section 9.3. Second type of reverse charge is section 9.4. First, beginning with section 9.3. Sir, 9.4 actually now is applicable only for real estate sector. 9.4 is now applicable only for real estate sector. What does section 9.4 deal with? If supplier is unregistered and the recipient is registered. I repeat, if the supplier is unregistered and the recipient is registered, so in such case 9.4 will be applicable. So what the 9.4 has specified is in case of real estate sector, if 80% of the total expenditure they have to take from registered dealers only, because now for real estate tax rates were reduced to 5% and 1%. No, that's why 80% of the total cost should be from registered dealers. If it was not from registered dealers, under reverse charge mechanism they have to pay 18%, and on cement they have to pay 28%. That means if supplier is unregistered and recipient is registered, earlier means from 1/7/2017 to 12/10/2017, when the act was initially introduced, if the aggregate value of supply in a day exceeds 5,000 rupees, then reverse charge mechanism has been made applicable. But now such concept is not applicable. Now this is only for real estate sector with effect from 1/4/2019. 9.4 is applicable only for real estate sector. Okay. So now coming to the next thing. Section 9.3 is applicable whether or not the supplier is registered or not. Now also practically reverse charge mechanism is there in these transactions. In case of services, 16 points we are going to learn, and in case of goods, 8 points we are going to learn. First, let me begin with services. The services which were covered under reverse charge mechanism. So total, if you see, there are 16 services covered in reverse charge mechanism. With no loss of time, Let me begin with service number 1. The first service is a GTA service. The first service is GTA service, Goods Transport Agency. Sir, in case of Goods Transport Agency services, who is the supplier? Supplier is nothing but Goods Transport Agency only, like Navata and Kranti, transport business. Sir, not all the freights were covered in reverse charge mechanism. Only GTA freight is covered in reverse charge mechanism. Lorry freight, auto freight, those are all exempted. Only freight paid to a goods transport agency. Sir, if I am transporting in an own lorry, whether GST is required to be levied? No. Sir, on lorry freight, auto freight, rickshaw freight, GST is not there. Reverse charge mechanism is applicable only for GTA freight. All other freights except courier and goods transport agency were exempted. In exempted services, we are going to learn. Only GTA freight is covered under reverse charge mechanism. So what was specified there? Here, if you see, for road transports, here if you see GTA, sir, GTA at the time of transportation, what it is going to give? A consignment note it is going to give. Here I have given you clearly. So GTA has two aspects. GTA has two aspects. First one, if you see, if GTA opts 12%, then it was not under reverse charge mechanism. In this case, sir, who is the supplier? Supplier is GTA. GTA, whenever we are entering into a contract with GTA, they are going to give us a consignment note. It contains weight of the goods to be transported, number of cases we are transporting, weight, those aspects we are going to have here in this goods consignment note. So this consignment note, if they charge 12% GST, then this is not under reverse charge mechanism. We have to pay tax to GTA only. Here GTA, it is going to purchase lorries or autos, whatever may be. Those are capital goods for them. On this capital goods input and input service, GTA can avail full ITC. I repeat, in this case, GTA can avail full ITC because it is collecting 12% tax from the consumers. No, since it is collecting 12% tax from the consumers, GTA can avail full ITC. Okay, but here there is some exemption. If GTA provides services to unregistered persons, it is exempted. All the exemptions were given in notification 12/2017. So there it was exempted. What is exempted? If GTA provides services to unregistered persons, it has been exempted. Sir, if GTA provides services to registered persons, then here tax is payable, where entire tax will be payable by whom, sir? GTA only is going to pay the tax. I repeat, who is going to pay the tax here? GTA only. It is going to collect 12% tax from the consumers, and consumers also can avail ITs. GTA also, at the time of purchasing any lorries and all, it can avail ITC. But here there are some exempted and also taxable. That's why proportionate ITC concept will come into existence. So this is first option 12%. But many GTAs do not choose first option. They go to second option. In second option, GST at the rate, how much is given? Only 5%. But GTA should not charge this 5%. Recipient only. Who is the recipient? Whoever is paying freight, he is called as the recipient. That recipient only should pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. Sir, if recipient is unregistered, exempted. If recipient is registered, here is the list of persons which was given. Here we have given the list of persons. Here if you see, if the recipient of service is a registered factory, registered society, or a cooperative society, or a registered dealer under GST, not being government, government need not pay. If government takes any goods transport agency service, they need not pay under reverse charge mechanism, excluding government, because government will take GST registration for paying GST TDS, okay, not for the purpose of paying these reverse charge mechanisms. Next, any company avails GTA services, any partnership firm, or casual taxable person. Casual taxable person means temporary registration. The persons who come from another state for temporary purpose, 90 days they are going to do the business, 90 days, extendable for 90 more days, maximum 180 days. If any person comes from another state to our state to do their business, for them we will give temporary registration, that will be called as casual taxable person registration. So these persons, if they pay freight, so in our business sector for all our clients, in P&L account, if there is to GTA freight written in P&L account, so we are registered dealers under GST, we have to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism under this point. We have to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism in this point. Is it clear, all of you? So finally, GTA case, sir, there are two aspects. The option is given to GTA only. First part, if GTA wants to pay 12% taxes, first part, if GTA wants to pay 12% taxes, this is under forward charge only. Second part, if GTA opts to pay tax at the rate 5%, this concept is only covered under reverse charge mechanism. Okay. So in this case, in invoice only GTA will charge taxes. In this case, GTA will not charge in goods consignment note. We have to pay taxes under reverse charge mechanism. And here major doubt arises to many persons is which GST we have to pay, CGST and SGST or IGST? Sir, here we have to see the location of the supplier and place of supply. Two things we need to see: the location of the supplier and place of supply. Location of supplier means in goods consignment note, there will be the address of the GTA, Navata Kranti, etc. There will be their address. If that address they are going to give, for example, Gujarat state, and place of supply, now delivery is made in AP state. Both are in same state or different states? Different states. So what is required to be paid? IGST. If both are in same state, CGST and SGST. So reverse charge mechanism also, sir, we have to pay taxes and avail it as ITC. But which tax is required to be paid here? Still many people were confused. Now practically in GSTR 3B, system generated summary we are getting. Automatically, which reverse charge, whether we should pay IGST or CGST and SGST, automatically now it was coming. But earlier, that system generated summary is not there. Many people were confused in case of GTA service, whether we are required to pay CGST and SGST or IGST. Many were confused, for which a clarification has been given here. What has been clarified here? You compare location of supplier and place of supply. Location of supplier means in consignment note, address of GTA will be given. That one plus place of supply. That means in case of registered dealers, wherever we are registered, that is our place of supply. So both in the same state, you pay CGST and SGST. Both are in the different states, you pay IGST. Okay. So next thing, first point we have completed regarding GTA service. We have completed total 16 services were covered in reverse charge mechanism. So in which first one we have completed. Now let me enter for second one regarding legal services. Second one is legal services. Sir, is lawyer required to take GST registration? From my point of view, no. Because, sir, if lawyer provides B2C services, it is exempted. If lawyer provides B2B services, in such case, if lawyer provides B2B services, in such case, it was covered in reverse charge mechanism. Here, if you see, if advocate or a firm of advocates, they are the suppliers. If advocate or firm of advocates provides services to any business entity located in the taxable territory, if they provide services to any business entity located in the taxable territory, so in such case, so what they have specified, sir, it is covered under reverse charge mechanism. Sir, if this business entity turnover does not exceed registration limit. Now registration limit, what was the registration limit? Till 20 lakhs, we are not required to get registration. In some states, for example, if we take KP as example, if we make own to take any registration. So if an exemption notification it was given, If lawyer provides services to business entity which has GST registration, that one they have to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. So in P&L account, sir, in P&L account, if there is 2 GTF right, that has to be paid under reverse charge mechanism. In P&L account, 2 lawyer fee or 2 legal fee, anything if they are going to write, any payment made to advocate or firm of advocates, reverse charge mechanism will be applicable. Which will be applicable? Reverse charge mechanism. That means we have to pay 18% GST, and that GST paid can be availed as ITC. Okay. So now coming to the next thing. So now coming to the next thing, let me continue. Director of a company. Sir, in P&L account, if any director fee is being written, in P&L account, any director fee
Sudhir sir, we are not able to hear you. Sudhir is joining back. 1 minute, please.